The internet is emerging as a communication medium, and its impact on society, commerce and the government cannot be underestimated. As the nerve center of the new media technologies, it has changed the whole business of communication. Thus, prominent media practitioner and scholar Dr. George Lugalambi points out that any self-respecting journalist cannot ignore the internet and the changes it has unleashed on the media in Uganda.
The landscape, keeps evolving. And so new technologies, keep coming up. New platforms, keep coming up.
Media practitioners must not only acquaint themselves with the new media, but also appreciate how the audience consumes news from the digital spaces.
Their access, to information is changing. The way they access that information, the kind of information, that they need is also changing.
As such, it's not surprising that there are journalists making the leap from traditional to online journalism through starting up their own online news channels.
So today I'm practicing my independent journalism via online using my YouTube channel. Here on YouTube, yes, I can do my story, I can do my talk show without hesitation, without the censorship, as long as I keep it professional.
Also, research has shown that appointment news from a significant audience has reduced. So no one goes home to watch news at 7 or at 10. So to find creative ways to get your content to these guys, you have to be present on these social media platforms.
A number of considerations have to be made before one decides to set up an online news channel.
Content, first place. You must have the funds because you must sustain. You need to have the data. And of course, nowadays we employ people. You need a camera person, you need an editor, you need a photographer.
So you try and use the mechanisms that are now brought by generative AI to come up with stories that can then sit on your website.
It is emphasized that the parameters that guide traditional media cut across to digital media as well.
So many journalists rush to be the ones to say break news, to make the current stories, to be the brand of the news that goes out. And we've gotten it wrong quite a number of times. Make so many mistakes, become the purveyors of fake news.
Remember that the basic rules of the game, you have to be ethical. You have to report based on facts. You have to source from your information from credible sources.
And the journalists also have to remain highly conscious and aware of their security while operating online news channels.
I think the safety concerns for journalists online has even grown to a level that it's slightly higher than the other journalists who are in the field, because the level of abuse that they get from their audiences, the level of harassment.
It's particularly complex, for female journalists in particular, because we have evidence that, female journalists get, harassed online.
But for these endeavors to be successful, it's also important that government puts in place an enabling digital environment.
Perception that government takes us through, the things that those operating on social media, they are basically spreading lies, hate, malice, blackmail. There is nothing good that government perceives these online channels or the online media.
However, it should be noted that the revolution of the media industry and the onset of online news does not entirely do away with traditional journalism. Joyce Nakato, NTV Weekend.